Last but not least on our agenda today is factor by grouping. Factor by grouping combines some of the things we were just talking about with binomial GCF. And our steps here, a bit hard to see, are we multiply the first and the last term, those we're going to call A and C. We're going to find what multiplies to this new number and adds the middle coefficient, that's B. And we're going to split up and use the binomial GCF we just talked about. Let's take a look at this first one. We're going to multiply the first and the last. So that's going to be A times C. That's 2 times 15. That's 30. Did the first step. I need to see what multiplies to 30 and adds up to the middle coefficient. My middle coefficient here is negative 13. So, factors of 30. I need 1 and 30, 2, 15, 3, and 10. Since this 30 is positive and the 13 is negative, I know that all of these numbers have to be negative. Because the two negatives would multiply together to be a positive, they'd add together to be a negative. So let's see which ones add up to be that negative 13. This one adds up to be negative 31. This adds up to be negative 17. This one adds up to what I need it to be. So I can rewrite my expression now with those terms. I can have 2x squared minus 3x minus 10x plus 15. So we did that part. Now we can just split up and use the binomial GCF. So if I'm looking at my first terms, these first two, I'm going to see the GCF as x, and I'm left with 2x minus 3. If I take a look at the second two terms, the signs aren't the same, so I got to put on a negative. A 5 comes out, and then it's 2x minus 3. Well, that's excellent because now I see that the 2x minus 3 is the same. It has the same signs in both of them. Last but not least, I can just go ahead and rewrite it as 2x minus 3. And then it's x minus 5. Neither one of those can be split up anymore, so we're done with it. Let's take a look at the second one. Just going to move this over. I'm going to multiply the first and the last together. So I'm going to be 4. I can't do that yet because it has a GCF. So let's take out that GCF. 2x goes into all of these. So I'm going to have 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. And that 2x squared is going to stick with us for a while. Don't forget about it. It's coming back. Now, let's multiply the first and the last two terms together. I'm going to have 2 times 3, well that's going to be 6, and I need factors of 6, which are going to add up to this negative 5. Because this 6 is positive, and this negative 5 is negative, I know that this has to be negative, 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 negative. Well, these two add up to negative 7, it won't work. These two will add up to negative 5, they will work. And I can then rewrite my expression as 2x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 3. Don't forget, we need to bring this 2x down. It has to stick around for the ride. It's really easy to forget. Don't forget it. Let's get a bit more room here. Now we're just going to do the same factoring we've done before. GCF of those two. GCF of those two. They don't have the same sign, so we're going to need to use that. So GCF of the green ones is just 2x. I'm left with x minus 1. The GCF of the two blue ones, I need a negative to switch the sign, and it's 3. And I'm left with x minus 1, the sign flipped. Now don't forget, we need these parentheses around it, and that 2x also has to come down. Don't forget to bring down the 2x. It is definitely necessary. Last but definitely not least, I'm going to rewrite it as x minus 1 by binomial GCF. I'm going to have my 2x, my minus 3, and don't forget it. I think that's the 4th time I've said don't forget it. I think it's really important if I said it 4 times. This has to come on down. I can factor none of these out anymore, so I'm done. It is factored completely. They are all prime factors.